Thank you for joining us on Business Now. I am Frank Omalape. We begin from the Federal Capital Territory, where the federal government on Wednesday said it had recovered over 120 billion naira from the proceeds of crime following the implementation of the Proceeds of Crime Recovery and Management Act 2022. It said the fund will be deployed for the construction of major highways, adding that the administration's fight against corruption was very much on track. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, disclosed these at the 8th edition of the PNB Administration's Scorecard Series 2015 to 2023, where the Minister of Environment made a presentation on achievement by the Environment Ministry. Away from there now, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) has restated its commitment to support government's digital transformation agenda through the planned auction of 2 additional 3.5 gigahertz spectrum licenses for the massive rollout of the country's 5th generation network in 2023. Executive Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of NCC, Umar Garba Dambata, will restated the commitment. The Tech TV Digital Agenda Forum said the Commission will not be distracted by any group, having put all necessary measures in place to ensure the success of the spectrum action this December. Dambata encouraged Nigerians to support the digital transformation agenda of the federal government, adding that it will open vista of opportunities for Nigerians and Nigerian businesses. According to him, NCC is working to ensure a comprehensive digital transformation as a key driver by conversion and harnessing the successes of various emerging technologies for the common good of nation's transformation agenda. And now the Central Bank of Nigeria has warned banks, switching companies, and other relevant parties in Nigerian payment system against discrimination between payment cards issued by Nigerian banks. It said this in a circular to all banks, switching companies, and others signed by the CBN's Director of Payment System Management Department, Musa Jimo. It stated, quote, the Central Bank of Nigeria has observed that a number of the acceptance devices deployed by banks discriminate between payment cards. CBN noted that the circular served as a reminder of the following provisions of the guidelines on operations of electronic payment channels. And now, following reactions that trail Nigeria's move to limit cash withdrawals, an expert has called on Nigerians to see the policy beyond their individual interest. A financial analyst, Dr. Olushola Oluwoyeye, made the call when speaking on IBrandTV's Business Breakfast on Thursday. The Central Bank of Nigeria had on Tuesday placed limitations on cash withdrawals across counters, ATMs, and POS. Dr. Oluwoyeye said Nigerians should view the policy as a collective advantage.
Beyond just dealing with our individual interests and start looking at overall interest on how this will bring a better economic system for Nigeria and better allow Nigeria to grow. So if this move to you as an individual, you will look at it, oh, I won't be able to do as much as I want to do. However, if all of us collectively now make sure that all our transactions go through the system, it will allow policy and decision making to be more proactive. It will make whenever anything is targeted, it will be able to have real impact, as against where we have an economy where only 30% is in the system, while 70% is in informal, and so most of our policy don't get to achieve most of the objectives that they have been set. Okay, now let's articulate the negatives that they have brought forward. They are mostly individual interest, not a global interest.
Okay.
People just want to take care of their own personal needs, forgetting that it is the needs of all of us that will change the entire value chain and the system. If we all keep thinking of, okay, let me just take care of my interests. Now, let me give you a classical example. An average Nigerian does not want dollar to go up. At the same time, he's holding a dollar and he's saying, oh, I will sell when it gets to so value. So why do we continue to have this contradictory move? At the same time, we want a better economy. At the same time, we are holding dollar for it to go up.
Okay.
We operate an economy that we should lay more emphasis on Naira. We live here. We do business here. We work here. Emphasis should be on Naira. Okay. We should all do everything to make sure that Naira remains strong.
All right.
Why will we continue to render services and we want to take dollar for those services? So we are the one mounting pressure and then giving wrong interpretation to most of this policy. I will want a whole lot, we need to start looking at ways to start, viewing these policies in a way that it will bring about one of the major challenges of the SME is currently now, most of the data are not properly captured. Most of them don't have sufficient information to be able to drive their business. Most of them have governance issues. Funding is not accessible. Now look at it when you are able to now document most of your transactions. You have now been able to separate your personal transaction from that of your business. Okay. You are now more accountable. You are now more attractive to investor. You are now more, you can now show that you have obligations to the government. You are now able to show, that this is the volume you have done. This is the extent of your own capital that has been had.
And now the Director General, Securities and Exchange Commission, Lamido Yuguda, on Wednesday said that the revised edition of the Capital Market Master Plan 2021 to 2025 that was recently launched has a projection of 50 listings of Sharia compliant products with a market capitalization of at least 5 trillion naira by the year 2025. Yuguda, who was represented by the SEX Executive Commission Operations Dio Bison, the opening of a 3-day capacity building workshop for local Sharia talent for non-interest capital market, said that the non-interest capital market also has the following new targets, including ensuring 100 retail Sharia compliant products, projection of 1 million or more direct investors in Sharia compliant products with at least 5 trillion naira investment by institutional investors in Sharia compliant products. You got to note that with these new responsibilities, promoting capacity building programs such as the workshop on Sharia compliant processes and products, regulators and operators has become necessary for the NCIM. They said the Commission, in recognizing the potential of the non-interest capital market for economic growth, dedicated a component in its 10-year Capital Market Master Plan for the speedy development. And now, as the current quest by Nigeria to wean itself off imported fuel drugs, so new data show its petrol import bill has hit an all-time high of 4 trillion naira from January to September 2022, the highest in 4 years. Data sourced from the National Bureau of Statistics show the importation of petrol doubled up to 4 trillion naira from January to September, 173% increase from 1.3 trillion naira recorded in the same period in 2020. A further breakdown of NBS data showed Nigeria spent a total of 1.5 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2022. That's about 948 billion naira in the second quarter and 1.2 trillion naira in the third quarter. From first quarter to third quarter of this year, petrol accounted for the highest share of all imported products. The products accounted for 25.54%, 17.46%, and 21.14% in first, second, and third quarter, respectively. The Chief Executive Officer of the Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, Muda Yusuf, in an interview described the development as shameful, saying a forensic audit is needed to unravel the controversies regarding daily PMS importation figures. And our petrol marketers have issued a 7-day ultimatum to the federal government, threatening to abandon private depots if the government fails to intervene to end price disparity. The chairman, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria's satellite depot, who also represents the Southwest, Akinrin Ade, told journalists in Lagos that depot owners would buy fuel at 148 liters from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, for sale to IPMAN members at 220 litre. Akira did note that IPMAN members did not have a choice that to sell at 250 naira per litre in Lagos and above 250 naira per litres in other areas. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Regulatory Authority have assured the public of adequate fuel supply across the country. And in the meantime, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has acquired about $1.4 billion from Northern Hydrocarbon Funding Limited to boost oil production via its joint venture asset with Chevron Nigeria Limited. According to a statement, the Standard Chartered Bank arranged the standard financing agreement between NNPC and Chevron Nigeria Limited. The statement said the project has a broad scope that includes about 37 development wells, oil producers, 1 gas well, and 5 water injectors across 10 NNPC joint venture fields, and it's also set to run from 2022 to 2026. According to the statement, this is a noteworthy project as it directly supports Nigeria's energy transition agenda through increased gas production and also aligns with the environmental, social, and governance goals of the NNPC and CNL joint venture. Away from the now, promoters of the African Continental Free Trade have said that the agreement has the potential to grow trade value in Nigeria to the tune of $12 billion between 2023 and 2027. In a manual tagged Strategy Implementation Framework made available to journalists on Wednesday during the Nigeria AFCFTA Implementation Strategy Validation held in Lagos. He said that the agreement could also reduce trade costs by 20% by facilitating the enactment of an omnibus bill on the AFCFTA. The manual also said that the agreement will execute trade facilitation and infrastructure programs to improve competitiveness. The manual also described plans to grow productive capacity of Nigeria's top imports to protect the domestic market, noting that the AFCFTA was poised to capture 10% of its global imports to double Nigeria's export revenue by 2035. I'll be watching business now. Still to come after the break, UK aims to double US gas imports on the new deal. I will bring you details and more news update after this commercial. Please stay with us.